Look at this scatter plot. On the horizontal x-axis, we are measuring the frequency of customer purchases over a year. On the vertical y-axis, we have the average transaction value. We have a massive amount of data here, but because the points are unlabeled, we can't yet see if there are distinct groups within this customer base. This is the core of unsupervised learning. We are working with data that lacks predefined outcome variables. There are no target labels like high value or at risk. The system must analyze the raw spatial distribution without a key. To organize this, we use the k-means clustering algorithm. The variable k represents the number of distinct groups we want to identify. In this case, we will set k to 2. The algorithm operates on two mathematical rules. First, it maximizes intra-cluster similarity, ensuring points within a group are as close to each other as possible. Second, it maximizes inter-cluster variance, ensuring the resulting groups are clearly separated in the data space. K-means achieves this by using the spatial coordinates of each point to determine how they associate with one another, using distance as the primary metric for organization. The first step is initialization. The algorithm drops two randomly placed center points, known as centroids, into the graph. These act as the initial anchors for our two clusters. The system then calculates the Euclidean distance between every single data point and both the red and blue centroids. Every point is then assigned to the cluster of whichever centroid is geographically closest. At this stage, the colors represent the initial group assignments. Because those starting centroids were placed at random, this first pass is mathematically imprecise. It has not yet optimized the similarity within the groups or the variance between them. To improve the accuracy, the algorithm enters a recalculation phase. Each centroid abandons its starting point and recalculates its position to sit at the exact mathematical mean of all the points currently assigned to it. By moving to the center of the grouping, the centroid minimizes the distance between itself and the points in its cluster, fulfilling the rule of maximizing intra-cluster similarity. Look at these 3 points on the border. Now that the centroids have roids, their relative distance to the red and blue markers has changed. The algorithm remeasures the distance for every point. Because the blue centroid moved closer to these border items, they switch groups to maintain the closest centroid rule. This becomes an iterative loop. The system assigns the points, moves the centroids, and reevaluates the distances. The process repeats until the centroids no longer move. This feedback loop continues until the algorithm reaches a state where the variance between the two groups is as high as the current distribution allows. This state is convergence. The centroids have stabilized. Every data point is associated with its mathematically nearest center. The dense grouping around each centroid shows high intra-cluster similarity, and the clear gap between sets confirms high inter-cluster variance. Because we mapped these points by frequency and transaction value, we can now identify the subgroups. The red cluster represents high-frequency, high-spending premium shoppers, while the blue cluster identifies the budget buyers, who visit less often and spend less per trip. To summarize the mechanics, K-means organizes unlabeled data using distance metrics. It iterates through assignments and centroid moves, and it stops only when it has maximized the similarity within clusters and the variance between them. By locking these centroids, the algorithm has partitioned the data into discrete, usable segments. It has replaced subjective grouping with a repeatable mathematical process.